Top 4 Kennedy Half Dollar. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to explore some of the most valuable Kennedy half-dollar coins from the United States of America. United States. In this video, we'll be looking at the top 4 rare and valuable Kennedy half dollars, discussing their market value, famous error coins, and special conditions, including the rare silver issues and unique color shades that have become major highlights in the coin collector and investor world. These stunning coins aren't just pieces of American history. They are true treasures that collectors are constantly searching for. Gemstone. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who loves the beauty and significance of U.S. currency, this video is definitely for you. Sparkles, let's get started with our first rare Kennedy half dollar. The 1976 Kennedy half dollar, bearing the dual date 1776 to 1976, is one of the most iconic and emotionally charged coins in the entire history of American minting. Struck in honor of the United States Bicentennial, this coin represents 2 centuries of liberty, progress, and sacrifice. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a gleaming echo of 200 years of struggle and triumph, cast into silver and copper for generations to admire. And among all its varieties, the 1976 D Kennedy half dollar has taken on a life of its own in the collector's world, sometimes selling for small fortunes when found in pristine or error condition, and often whispered about as a sleeping treasure that could transform an ordinary collector into an overnight millionaire. When the Bicentennial approached, America was engulfed in celebration. The U.S. Mint wanted a coin that would carry the heartbeat of a nation into the next century. A coin that every citizen could hold and say, "This is our story." Thus, the Kennedy half dollar, first introduced in 1964 to honor the fallen President John F. Kennedy, was chosen to bear a special dual date, 1776 to 1976. The reverse of the coin was redesigned to feature the Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence, replacing the presidential seal used since 1964. This design, by Seth G. Huntington, symbolized freedom's foundation and America's enduring dream. The Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark below Kennedy's neck, played a massive role in striking these commemorative coins. Yet, even among millions minted, only a select few emerged with breathtaking luster, mirror-like surfaces, or unique die errors that today send collectors into frenzied bidding wars. These coins, though born of celebration, now live in the realm of myth, some fetching thousands, even tens of thousands, when discovered in untouched condition. What makes the 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar truly extraordinary is its mysterious silver composition. While most of the circulating coins were struck in a copper-nickel blend, the U.S. Mint also produced special 40% silver versions for collectors. Over time, confusion and misidentification blurred the line between these editions, leading many to unknowingly hold silver treasures in their hands without realizing it. There are verified accounts of 1976 D half dollars found in silver when they were never meant to be struck in that metal. Rare minting anomalies that command unimaginable value today. Each Kennedy half dollar of 1976 carries a symbolic weight much greater than its face value. It connects the modern age to the ideals of the Founding Fathers. Imagine holding a coin that celebrates both the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the legacy of John F. Kennedy, one of the most beloved leaders of the 20th century. It's like gripping 2 centuries of American courage in the palm of your hand. That emotional connection has turned the coin from mere currency into a national heirloom, one that collectors will pay dearly to preserve. The story of these coins is also a story of craftsmanship. Each proof and silver strike was executed with precision and care, the dies polished to perfection to reflect not only Kennedy's profile but the pride of a nation reborn after 200 years. In many ways, the Kennedy half dollar became a symbol of continuity, the reminder that even through tragedy, war, and upheaval, America endures. The D mint mark on the coin doesn't just stand for Denver. To many collectors, it stands for destiny. Over the decades, the 1976 D half dollar has surfaced in auctions around the world, shocking even seasoned numismatists with its prices. Some high-grade coins, preserved in perfect mint state or proof-like condition, have shattered expectations, proving that history can be as valuable as gold when captured in the right form. And then there are the rumored misstrikes, the double die obverse, and the unintentional silver planchets, coins so rare that their discovery feels almost fated. Beyond its financial value, The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar stands as an emblem of unity and memory. It bridges the revolutionary past with the modern spirit of America. The shimmering silver tone reflects not just artistry, but aspiration, the relentless pursuit of freedom that defines the American character. Collectors don't simply buy this coin. They buy a moment of history frozen in perfection. Today, coin experts whisper that certain uncirculated 1976 D. Kennedy half-dollars with unusual luster, or those struck on pure silver planchets, could fetch unimaginable sums, perhaps enough to rewrite someone's life story. In the right hands, one lucky find could transform a forgotten drawer discovery into a fortune. The power of this coin lies in its unpredictability, its rarity hidden beneath a familiar face that millions have seen but few have truly understood. If you hold one of these coins, especially one in exceptional condition or with that elusive silvery glow, treat it not as pocket change, but as a potential legacy. Because within that half-dollar lies the pulse of 2 centuries, the echo of independence, and the enduring memory of a president who inspired a generation. Its worth is not only measured in dollars but in dreams. In truth, the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with the D mint mark isn't just a coin. It's a time capsule. It holds within it the heartbeat of a nation's past, the craftsmanship of American mints, and the hope of prosperity for its finder. Some coins are merely money, but this one, born of celebration and minted with reverence, might just hold the key to a fortune. So, if you come across this shining piece of history, don't spend it, cherish it. Because in a world where history and luck collide, even one coin can change your destiny overnight. Next up, the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark is one of those coins that hides a deep and fascinating story beneath its calm silver gleam. At first glance, it appears to be just another piece of modern currency, a coin from a time when the United States Mint was transitioning between eras. But to those who know its origins and secrets, the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar holds a mystique that goes beyond its face value. It symbolizes a bridge between the golden age of American coinage and the dawning of a new technological era, a coin born in a time of change, yet carrying echoes of the nation's most powerful legacy. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, 1 year after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Americans, still mourning, lined up in long queues to get their hands on this new coin. It was more than money. It was a token of remembrance, a piece of history pressed into metal. By 1992, nearly 3 decades later, the coin had evolved in both composition and meaning. Gone were the days of pure silver. Yet in certain special minting runs, particularly in the proof and collector issues, the U.S. Mint revived the use of silver, a silent tribute to the past that made this year's release quietly significant. The 1992 Kennedy half-dollar with the P mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, stands as one of the rare issues where beauty, nostalgia, and rarity converge. Though millions were minted for circulation, the few that carry unique minting errors or remain in flawless condition have turned into treasures of immense value. For collectors, it's not just a coin, it's a moment frozen in time, sealed beneath layers of copper and nickel, or in special cases, glistening silver. The very metal itself seems to whisper the memory of Kennedy's voice and the echoes of a hopeful America. The coin's design remains one of the most beloved in American history. On the obverse, you see the familiar noble profile of President John F. Kennedy, sculpted by Gilroy Roberts. His face, half in shadow, half in light, seems to symbolize the duality of his short life, brilliance and tragedy intertwined. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's bold heraldic eagle spreads its wings wide, clutching olive branches and arrows, symbols of peace and strength. Each detail, every feather, every star, was crafted with deep patriotic symbolism. To hold this coin is to hold the heart of the American story. What makes the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar particularly fascinating to collectors is the quiet possibility that among the millions minted, a handful escaped with minting anomalies. Double dies, off-center strikes, or even unexpected planchet compositions. These tiny errors, often invisible to the naked eye, can transform a 50-cent piece into a fortune worth thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands, in auctions. The thrill lies in discovery, knowing that somewhere in your pocket change, or perhaps in an old jar at home, could lie the key to unimaginable wealth. Silver, though officially phased out of regular circulation coins in 1970, made a subtle return for collectors in certain proof sets and special mint issues. In these select 1992 Kennedy half dollars, the reappearance of silver was not just a material choice but a symbolic one, a way of honoring the purity of America's coinage past. If you happen to own one of these rare silver-struck 1992 P coins, you are holding a piece of numismatic poetry, a glint of history in your hand. Its intrinsic silver content alone gives it value, but its historical and emotional significance multiplies that worth beyond calculation. The numismatic market has a way of breathing life into old metal. A coin that once jingled unnoticed in someone's pocket can suddenly become a global sensation. In today's world, where collectors compete across continents, a rare 1992 Kennedy half dollar can spark bidding wars, its value climbing to dizzying heights. Some proof versions, preserved in immaculate condition, have fetched prices that would seem unimaginable for a half dollar. And yet, for those who understand its history, the value is not surprising at all, because this coin carries both the soul of a nation and the aura of immortality. The 1992 Kennedy half dollar also marks a time when the mint was embracing precision and modernization. Each coin produced in Philadelphia bore the subtle P mark, a signature of pride and craftsmanship. The machines were more advanced, the quality control tighter, yet perfection was never fully achievable. That human imperfection, that slight variation, that microscopic error, is what turns an ordinary strike into an extraordinary discovery. Those who possess such coins may not realize the treasure they hold until years later when collectors begin to hunt for the rarest survivors. There's a certain electricity in the air when the story of a coin like this circulates among enthusiasts. People search through inherited jars, forgotten drawers, and old coin rolls, hoping to find one that gleams just a little differently. And when they do, when a collector uncovers that near-perfect 1992 P Kennedy half dollar, it feels as though destiny itself has shifted. Overnight, something once overlooked becomes the vessel of fortune, the key to a new beginning. That's the magic of coin collecting. It blurs the line between history and miracle. The Kennedy half dollar has always carried emotional power. It's not just a reminder of a president but of an era that believed in progress, courage, and unity. Each coin minted in his name carries a fragment of that dream. The 1992 version, though decades removed from the original issue, still reflects the same ideals: renewal, remembrance, and resilience. Its metallic shimmer is more than reflection. It's reverence. If you have one of these coins, a 1992 P Kennedy half dollar, especially one that glows with the subtle sheen of silver or bears an unrecorded flaw, do not underestimate its potential. It may rest quietly now, perhaps in a box or jar, but its story is alive, and its worth is waiting to be realized. In a marketplace where rarity and beauty command astronomical value, this coin stands as a silent powerhouse, capable of transforming an ordinary life in a heartbeat. To the trained eye, it is more than currency. It is art, history, and destiny intertwined in one metallic form. The 1992 P Kennedy half dollar continues to remind us that sometimes, fortune doesn't arrive in gold bars or stocks. It arrives in the humble glint of silver, in the weight of a half dollar that carries the light of a nation and the spirit of its most beloved leader. And for those lucky enough to find one, that single coin might very well be the bridge between the past's glory and tomorrow's fortune. Next up, the 1995 D. Kennedy half dollar stands as a modern marvel in the long and fascinating story of American coinage, a coin that quietly bridges two eras, one of fading silver glory and another of modern minting brilliance. Though struck in the millions, the 1995 D half dollar carries an aura of mystery and hidden wealth that continues to captivate collectors and dreamers alike. It's more than metal. It's a piece of living history, born from the legacy of a beloved president and the enduring spirit of a nation determined to honor him in silver and copper. The Kennedy half dollar was first issued in 1964, just months after the shocking assassination of President John F. Kennedy. America, still mourning, found solace in this coin, a symbol of hope, courage, and the youthful energy Kennedy embodied. Citizens didn't just spend these coins. They cherished them, stored them, and passed them down like small pieces of sacred memory. The 1995 D issue, struck 3 decades later in Denver, still carried that same emotion. Even though the coin's metallic makeup had shifted from silver to a copper-nickel composition, its heart remained the same, a tribute to Kennedy's undying flame. The 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar tells its own quiet story. On its obverse, Kennedy's portrait gleams with a confident gaze, his hair swept back as though caught in a breeze of destiny. On the reverse, the American bald eagle stands proud, wings stretched wide across the nation's dreams. These design elements, crafted originally by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, reflect the artistic precision that defined mid-century American minting. Every curve, every line, and every feather bears the mark of a time when design wasn't just an aesthetic choice, but a declaration of ideals. Now, what makes the 1995 D half-dollar so fascinating isn't just its beauty or its backstory. It's the mysterious world of variations, errors, and rare finishes that can transform an ordinary 50-cent piece into a treasure worth thousands. Among collectors, whispers still circulate about rare, proof-like strikes that escaped from the Denver Mint unintentionally, or coins struck with remarkable double-die errors. These special variants are the kind of finds that turn pocket change into priceless art. Coins that can change your life overnight if discovered in pristine, untouched condition. Imagine, for a moment, holding such a coin, one that gleams differently under the light, one that somehow feels heavier, richer, more alive than the rest. For some lucky finders, that glint has meant the difference between a forgotten keepsake and a small fortune. In today's collector market, where rarity, beauty, and history collide, an uncirculated 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar with exceptional qualities can command astonishing prices. The value isn't merely in its metal. It's in the story it tells and the emotional connection it sparks among those who understand what it truly represents. In the 1990s, America's coinage was evolving. New technology, improved minting techniques, and a growing collector culture meant coins like the 1995 D were minted with sharper detail and higher brilliance than ever before. Yet, despite the advancements, human error still found its way into the process, giving birth to the rarest varieties. Double strikes, off-center images, and die cracks that now sell for amounts that seem almost magical. It's as though fate itself left secret clues hidden in plain sight for those willing to look closely enough. The Denver Mint, where this coin was born, has long been a powerhouse of American numismatic excellence. Its D mint mark, tucked neatly below Kennedy's neck, tells you where the story began. In 1995, the Denver Mint struck over 26 million of these coins, but only a handful have survived in untouched, near-perfect condition. The rest entered circulation, jostled in pockets, clinked in vending machines, and slipped through generations' hands, ordinary in appearance, but extraordinary in potential. The 1995 D half-dollar's subtle brilliance comes from its composition. Copper at its core, clad with a nickel sheen that gives it that mirror-like glow. Though not made of silver, these coins have a radiance that recalls the silver halves of the 1960s. And here lies the irony. While collectors chase silver, it's often these later base metal issues that reveal the greatest secrets. A tiny die variety, a minting error, or a hidden anomaly that elevates a coin's value beyond imagination. Today, the 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar is gaining renewed attention as collectors revisit late 20th century issues. The coin's historical significance, coupled with the nostalgia of the Kennedy legacy, has pushed its desirability upward. What once seemed common is now recognized as a key to the evolving story of American minting. Many numismatists believe that the finest examples of this coin, those preserved in perfect mint state or proof-like condition, may one day rival the early silver halves in value. There's a magic to coins like this. They aren't just money, they're time capsules. When you hold one, you hold the echo of the 1990s, a decade of innovation, optimism, and quiet reverence for the ideals Kennedy stood for. That's why collectors treat these coins not as currency, but as relics. Gleaming reminders that even in a world obsessed with the future, the past still holds the power to surprise, inspire, and enrich. So if you happen to own a 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar, look at it closely. Don't spend it, don't trade it away. Instead, study its shine, trace its edges, and imagine the journey it has taken. Beneath its modest surface lies a symbol of persistence, a coin that may not be made of silver, yet holds a value beyond metal. For those who recognize its potential, it could be the unexpected key to fortune, history, and legacy combined. And who knows? Perhaps one day, under the right light or in the hands of the right appraiser, your 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar might just reveal its true worth. Because sometimes, The smallest treasures carry the greatest power to change your fortune overnight. Next up, the year 1974 sits as a fascinating chapter in the history of the United States Mint, and among its most talked about treasures stands the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, a coin that many collectors whisper about with awe and disbelief. While millions were minted for circulation, certain rare varieties, minting errors, and exceptional conditions have given this coin a mythical status in the modern coin market. Some numismatists claim that the right specimen, with flawless luster and uncirculated preservation, could command a price high enough to change the course of an owner's life overnight. Indeed, the 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a coin. It's a bridge between eras, a symbol of American pride, and a tangible echo of a time when every coin told a story worth remembering. The Kennedy half-dollar series began in 1964, just months after the shocking assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The nation, still in mourning, wanted a way to immortalize the fallen leader, and so the Franklin half-dollar design was replaced with Kennedy's noble profile. The coin became more than just currency. It became a memorial, a token of unity, and a reflection of hope in a time of loss. The early years were struck in silver, but by 1971, due to rising silver prices, the composition changed to a copper-nickel blend. Yet collectors continued to cherish these coins not for their metal content, but for their enduring symbolism. By 1974, the United States Mint had fully transitioned into an era of mass production and modern machinery. The Philadelphia Mint, where the no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar was born, turned out millions of coins. But within that production, rare varieties appeared, such as those with doubled dies, off-center strikes, and unusual planchet errors, each turning an ordinary coin into a numismatic miracle. These rare flaws are what make a few surviving 1,974 halves worth hundreds, thousands, or even more in pristine condition. The lack of a mint mark is itself part of what makes the Philadelphia issue special. Unlike Denver or San Francisco coins, which proudly carry the D or S symbol, Philadelphia's coins bear no mark, a silent signature of the country's oldest mint. This anonymity gives the 1974 no-mint mark half-dollar an understated mystique. It's a coin that asks to be examined closely, for its secrets lie not in obvious beauty but in the subtleties of its strike, the depth of Kennedy's portrait, and the crispness of its rim. Collectors have long been fascinated by the 1974 half-dollar because of its role in one of the most famous U.S. coinage scandals, the 1974 de-aluminum cent and the ensuing investigations into mint errors and experimental strikes of that era. While the aluminum cent controversy did not directly involve the Kennedy half, it cast a spotlight on the 1974 mintage year, leading collectors to scrutinize all coins from that period, including the half-dollar. In the process, several rare and valuable varieties were discovered, heightening the intrigue around this particular issue. Another reason the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar holds immense allure is its transitionary role in American coinage. It stood at the crossroads of two generations, one that grew up with silver money and another raised on base metals. Despite being made of copper-nickel, the coin retained the same grand, substantial feel in the hand that Americans associated with silver. It reminded people of a time when money had weight, presence, and dignity, a physical connection to value itself. What truly drives collectors wild, however, are those few 1974 half-dollars that exist in nearly perfect condition. Coins that escaped the wear of circulation and survived with mirror-like surfaces. Under magnification, the sharp relief of Kennedy's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the words "In God We Trust" gleam with breathtaking precision. Such coins are graded by experts, and those with MS-67 or higher ratings can sell for astonishing sums at auction, especially when they display deep luster and flawless detail. In the grand world of numismatics, every coin tells a tale of economy, politics, and artistry. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar no-mint mark captures a moment in American history when the country was redefining its identity. Post-Vietnam, post-Watergate, and still holding on to the dream of unity represented by Kennedy's eternal image. It's a coin forged from more than metal. It's molded from memory, mourning, and resilience. Many collectors describe finding one of these coins in perfect condition as discovering American hope frozen in time. Each glint of its surface reminds the beholder of the optimism that characterized the Kennedy era, a promise of progress, leadership, and courage. This emotional connection, more than its metallic worth, gives the coin its lasting magic and value. In today's coin market, whispers abound of collectors who unearthed mint-condition 1974 no-mint mark halves tucked away in old drawers or inherited collections and later learned they were holding small fortunes. With silver's steady allure and numismatic demand soaring, these coins have become more than curiosities. They've turned into investments, relics of a country's golden heart cast in base metal. The moral of this coin story is simple yet powerful. Never overlook what seems ordinary. The 1974 no-mint Mark Kennedy $50 might appear like pocket change, but in the hands of someone who knows its worth, it could indeed be the key to wealth, recognition, or even legend. It stands as a testament to how history hides treasures in plain sight. Treasures that have the power to change your fortune overnight. So if you ever stumble upon this coin, the gleaming 1974 Kennedy $50 with no mint mark, hold it close, study its face, and know that you are not merely holding 50 cents. You are holding a piece of American soul, an artifact of history's heartbeat, and perhaps, just perhaps, a symbol of destiny waiting to turn in your favor.